Hello Internet, it's me Category back again with another bit of my Wargame Archaeology. And the treasure from the past of wargaming I'm digging up this week is Strategy and Tactics number 125. This one contains the Far Seas, the German cruise operations during World War I. So a bit of a naval game in this one, as you can probably tell by the cover art of that nice painting of a blazing vessel. So have a quick little look inside first of all. So this one was from March 1989. I mean, back in March 1989 when this was released, I was probably still just watching the Gummy Bears or Muppet Babies on TV and not doing much of else. I'm just going to move the map out of the way for have a look at that in a few minutes. I'm just going to see what's going on here. Oh, you've got adverts for beautiful looking adverts with just classic old typography you just don't see anymore. Oh, GDW. Big fan of GDW, Game Designers Workshop. And I'm pretty sure that's the same GDW who brought out the Traveller RPG, which, classic Traveller, excellent. I like even a bit of a colour page in here with an advert. Back when computer games were first starting to be really graphical. Look at that for a strategy game. Oh. And that would have been state of the art back in the day. So as always, this magazine starts with a bit of a note from the editor. A few little facts and callbacks to other issues. And straight into some slightly longer parts, but still not real articles. War and Technology in Medieval Europe. So, oh, that's going to be a good read. Russo-German Naval Cooperation. Again, there's just text in here. It's not very graphical like magazines are these days, but there's going to be a lot of meat on these bones. I think it's going to be a really interesting read. So, Eagles in the Sun, German cruise operations outside of Europe during 1914. So I believe this is what the game is really about. It's about the German cruisers, and one side of the Germans, one side of the British, I believe, and it's the fight just at the dawn of World War One. We're starting to see maps here. Again, it's going to give real good background ready to play in the game. And here we are with the rules. So let's just have a little look at the introduction. I mean, you've got the standard table of contents here. But the introduction says, Far Seas is a game of 9 turns for 2 or more players that simulates the operations of and against the 8 German cruisers that were caught at sea on the outbreak of World War I. The German player controls 8 cruisers, 5 armed merchant cruisers and 5 battle cruisers, and the British players control 80 British, French, Japanese and Russian ships that operated against them. So this seems like a really one-sided fight, but I think it's going to be really interestingly asymmetrical with a very limited German force trying to outwit this huge force from the rest of the world. The rules are in the standard style of the old things, with breaking each rule down by its own specific number reference for reference back and forth. But there's not a lot in the way of visuals or charts. Oh no, speaking of which, so here's charts. There's some movement restriction charts, where convoys start and where they route through, a victory thing, a damage table. So again, very limited on charts. I think it's going to be more a game of, well, with this lopsided thing, I think it's going to be more a game of positioning than it is of direct combat, but I'm going to enjoy getting into it. So a little bit of intermission with some more adverts. Oh, here's a ship log. So yeah, photocopy before use. So here you can track the movement and the captures. I imagine there's going to be damage on here as well. What's happened to the various German vessels and who's returned home, who's stuck, how many British ships have been sunk. And then back into the rules. Again, not really much in the way of any charts or examples. So I'm going to have to lay this out and give it a proper look first. But what I do like about here is there's a notes on how to win, notes on solitaire play, and player's notes, which really give you a tactical idea of how you should be playing. Because a lot of games have a certain trick to them a certain way to win, which you can read the rules and it isn't clear, and it's not until you start playing another competent player that you realise what they're doing, something which you should have been doing when you were playing that side. So I think it's really good that it gives you, it lays it out for you so you can have a chance of interesting competition from the outset. And here there's just a little flash up of the counters. Again, another advert. Oh, Guns of Cedar Creek looks like a bit of American Civil War type thing. Oh, island combat. Marines versus the Japanese in the Central Pacific. So this is going to be your island hopping the Marines did at the beginning during World War II. There's going to be Tarai, Okinawa, Iwo Jima. Oh, Okinawa, Iwo Jima, like that. So yeah, a preview of Iron Cross. Wow, so it's going to be something about the next games that are coming. Again, I just love the graphic design on these old adverts. Adverts today are so bland, and we see them everywhere, and with our blockers on our computers and things, we're trained to ignore them. But in the old days, they looked so much more appealing. Outgoing mails here, some messaging classified ads for people who want to sell things. Oh yeah. Errata for previously released things. Pegasus Bridge, Fortress Stalingrad. Some reviews of books. She's got a little bit of everything in here, but the meat of it is, of course, the game. Oh, Battles of Napoleon construction set. I think I remember downloading that from an abandonware site many years ago. And I also remember it having a bit of trouble running on my computer, even jumping through hoops with DOSBox. But I'm going to put this aside now and let's have a look at the game that it comes with. Let's start with the counter sheet. Oh, try and get a bit closer, try and get the reflection off it. So got some lovely half-inch counters. It's got all these German vessels. These two ones in green, I'm not sure about. They're these Russians. Oh, they're the Russians. There's the Japanese, the British, the French. Not much in the way of informational counters, except for these damage counters, but there's a chunk of counters here called Zulu War. Did I miss something in there? I just read the opening editor's notes of the magazine, and Zulu War was in a different magazine with a cut and paste style counters to play a game with. So because they had some spare space on this counter sheet, they decided to produce them, and that's a really nice thing, that if you were getting all the magazines every month, upgrading from your paper, possibly DIY card counters to these properly punched ones would be really nice. Now the counters themselves, the printing on them is really clear. The registration of the punch seems really well. There's not much stuff in the corners either, so I think these look really, really good after clipping. I mean, the only issue is that it's really quite a thin card. It's a bit hard to tell here, but it's got a floppiness to it that you don't expect from a counter sheet. I know it's a magazine game, and I know it's a really old magazine game, so they would be keeping costs down regardless. But I still think they'll look really good after a punch. Let's have a little look at the map. I've had to zoom out for this because it's just to fit it within the frame, but this map is the entire world. They weren't joking when they said it was the global conflict at the breakout of World War One. So first, you've got a little turn record track showing when it starts in August 1914 and the 9 turns. Here's where the reinforcements come in. So Ibuki, there'll be a Japanese reinforcements looking at it. They obviously be very Japanese named. But the area itself, it's not a hex encounter game so much as it's a area movement game. So you've got these huge swaths here, there's area 22, there's area 23. But showing start, so start for the Germans, start for the British. 3. I'm not entirely sure what that correlates to, because they all seem to have the same icons for the start, or that's just That's where they expect you to put the counters. Either way, this is a really simple map, just 2 colour, but covering the entire world of the breakout of this huge combat. And this is, I've really been interested in getting into something naval and doing something a bit more sea based. What's that game that's come out? Red Dragon Green is something. It's from Decision Games. I've seen it. It looks really good. But that's given me the urge to get something naval. So when I saw this magazine come up in an unpunched state, I thought, I've got to pick it up. I've got to play something with boats. We live my youth with the Sea Cadet sailing, but this time with some weaponry. Yeah, I mean, compared to the tactical games I normally play, this isn't just strategic. This is real. It seems like real operational level stuff. I mean, it's the entire globe. So I'm really interested to dig into the rules and see what they pertain to, how it plays out, and just give this a little go. Probably won't be this weekend. This weekend I'm planning to get back to Iraq to the table from my previous Wargame Archaeology. It's really simple, but really clear. And that's what I like in a bit of map design. No ambiguity. The only ambiguity here is the 3 icons on each of the zones, but again, once I've read the rules, I'm sure their purpose will become clear to me. So that's Strategy and Tactics, number 125 from back in 1989. Not the kind of magazine I'd normally buy. Like I said, I've not done much naval stuff, but I really want to investigate that side of gaming. And the magazine itself, it's not really my kind of articles. The things I did flip through, nothing really jumped out of me. I'm a bit interested in World War II Pacific theatre, but not hugely. But what sold this to me was the game, just to get into something so different to what I play currently. And component-wise, it looks really good, the map looks really good, and I can't wait to get it to the table. So, let me know what you think. Have you ever played the Far Seas? Or do you like any particular naval games? Anything you think I should try? That's Wargaming Archaeology for now, and until next time, happy gaming!